So hello again. I guess people might be wondering, or if you really care, if you care, why am I posting videos not on the weekend? Well, it's basically the holidays. Well, not for me, and in the industry I'm in, since the BPO industry is 24/7, and we don't really have much holidays. Now it's just a normal work day for us. But then again, since uh, traffic is not too bad and everything's a little bit more quiet, I decided to check out some of my stuff and like to share some of my figures. Now, in my previous videos, I was talking about the rider and bike series. Now, the reason why I actually remembered this is that I was looking over some of my stuff in some of the cabinets and found them. Now, the rider and the bike series is what I mean about it is that in most SH Figuarts products, SH Figuarts products, especially for Kamen Rider, they separate the motorcycle. Because the bike, and the rider, the bike is synonymous to Kamen Rider. Well, not recently, but it is synonymous to Kamen Rider, and they usually sell it separately. But I came across three products wherein the bike and the rider is already in one package, and we will be talking about that. Now, I also thought that since we're coming in holidays, maybe most people are not that busy. Well, why not showcase it now? What I was supposed to showcase I was supposed to share Kamen Rider Garen and the Red Rhombus from Kamen Rider Blade, but I decided, since we're coming in with this series, why not start from the first? And it's actually what I have. And what we're gonna be sharing right now is Kamen Rider 1 and Cyclone. There. Oh, sorry. Kamen Rider 1 and Cyclone, as well as Kamen Rider 2 and Cyclone. Yes. These are actually, now they look the same, but they're actually two different characters. And two different bikes. It's Kamen Rider Ichigo and Nigo, actually. Now, these are the Kamen Riders that started the Kamen Rider franchise all the way back in 1971. They're the first Kamen Riders. Now, technically, I actually have Rhombus with me here as well. Is that this is also includes the driver, the bike, and the rider. This is Kamen Rider Garrett. But we will be discussing this in the next video. But we'll just be focusing on these two. Now, you might be wondering, these guys look so much alike. What's so different? Unlike the different characters I've shared, wherein their looks are very, very different. This is because actually Kamen Rider Nigo and Ichigo started out together. When they started, legend has it that the original stunt guy for Kamen Rider 1 had an accident or got injured on set, and because of that he wasn't able to perform, and since they had to continue on with shooting, they brought in another guy, which is Kamen Rider Nigo, who's basically wearing the same costumes, and it's basically the same guy. Well, they're different guys, but since that's the costumes they have, then they just had them wear costumes, and then later on they were portrayed together after the injury. So we're gonna be talking about this now. You might be wondering again, why send out two figures when I can do it in one? Well, because there are fundamental differences between the two, which I want to share. Now, also, I just like to start off. We'll start off, of course, with Kamen Rider 1 or Kamen Rider Ichigo. With Cyclone, which is this is actually one of the first times that they started combining the figures. And the bike. They haven't done it for a long time. My guess is this is actually a one-off. This is actually limited series thing, and there's going to be differences, especially for these two, because the Kamen Rider 1 box is actually a combination of two figures, of two products. I mean, now what does that mean? The bike and the figure is actually sold separately. This set itself has already been out for 10 years. This was originally released in 2014 as a special set, but the figure inside was already released last 2011. So the figure has been released earlier, and actually the bike itself was released also a few years before that, and they just packaged it. Now I'll show you the difference, but this is essentially two products put into one box, and I'll show you why. Let me start out. Now you might wonder, yes, the box is a little old. I've had it for quite a while, and honestly, I wasn't able to really protect it. But hey, figures are still good. Now, for most SH Figuarts, it's just one plastic. It was just one plastic container or one plastic base. But this is actually different. The motorcycle, the Cyclone is separate. The hands and the additional scarf is separate. And the figure is separate. Now what makes it also special is that this figure, which includes a sword, the initial one had a sword, the additional extra hands for posing, the extra scarf, is part of the original figure. And it actually includes an kicking effect. Now this part is actually part of the original release 2011 figure. So everything that is in this figure is part of the original release, I mean. And while at the same time, the Cyclone bike, everything you need in the Cyclone bike is also included in this package. So you're essentially buying two separate products for the price of one, which is great value. It is tremendous value. You get it at a cheaper price since it's already at a package price, and you get everything else. Now, let's start with the figure. Now take note, this is a 2011 figure. It was actually when SH Figuarts is still really starting to build their name, build their brand. And there's actually some fundamental differences with this figure compared to the current SH Figuarts. So as you can see, this is the great detail on the figure, tremendous, very good detail. But you might notice from the figures right now is that this series is pretty thin. It's a lot thinner than what we're currently having, since if you can see my previous Kamen Rider Skull, Kamen Rider Revise, Kamen Rider. Now, if you remember the earlier video with regards to Kamen Rider 1, this is the original costume. Well, after that was a 2016 version, so it was 71, so that's like 81, 91, 2001, 2000. That's more than 40 years, so the actor's already gotten big. So that's why they had to change his costume. But this is the original Kamen Rider costume. This is the original costume of what the guy wore. So it had the belt, which is more like a cybernetic belt. It should rotate in the TV series. He's basically just wearing a tracksuit and a jacket. And he's basically wearing a jacket and a tracksuit and a motorcycle helmet. And with this figure, this is actually one of their the older SH Figuart types, is that there is one fundamental difference between the new figures and the old, which I honestly don't like. Well, I'm happy that the new figures are have better articulation because it doesn't have a bicep swivel. All the swiveling, all the turning that will happen from the figure, all comes from the shoulder. It doesn't have a bicep swivel. So basically, if it needs to pose, it has to be posed from the shoulder, which actually makes it a bit difficult in a sense of me in a sense that putting them in motorcycle positions, since the newer versions can twist the upper bicep, and it's easier to post them. Now you have to post the whole thing with the shoulder. The good thing is that the shoulder is very flexible. It's a butterfly joint. But then again, if without the bicep swivel, it still puts your poses limit makes it limited. And also the figure itself, details amazing as always, but there's a little bit of paint fading, and but the leg articulation's basically the same. It's just that the arms are different. Now, they have an SS version of this, and also for Kamen Rider 2, wherein they already perfected the articulation. But unfortunately, since I already have this, I didn't think of a reason why. At the same time, the price is a little bit higher. But then again, this is the figure, Renigo. Now for the bike. Now, actually, most people that have this set are sometimes selling it in the second-hand market because they're buying the new SS version and using the same bike. Now, actually, if anything, this bike is going to be the more valuable part of the set, since the figure is already a bit dated and articulation's also very dated. And now that we have the figure, is that they're going to be they don't really have much use for the figure anymore. But it's the bike. It's this bike that is actually going to give this whole set value. Now, for this set, it has extra handlebars, because this handlebar is a little bit wider, so you can pose. You can have him hold the handlebars, but it's still very fragile. And this is Cyclone. It's an origin. As you can see, you might also notice it's very simple. Yes, because this is a 1971 TV show. So I'm sure everything a lot in 1971 is a lot more simpler. So the prop is basically the same. It even has the dials are also has stickers on it. It has a kickstand to pose, and you can actually use this for dynamic poses, as previously with Kamen Rider Skull. It does have the fins that they use that you can attach since it's going to be on attack mode. It does have these fins for posability. So now the thing here is that this is sold as separate set. So this is actually the valuable part one, since the bike itself is very, very expensive. So it has the original logo for Kamen Rider. So there. So this is the Kamen Rider 1 and the new Cyclone they have. Now, actually keeping this back is pretty hard because it is one whole set, and one whole set, and it's detachable. So the good thing about SH Figuarts is that you can attach stuff, but it's also the bad thing, since if you lose it, the whole value is gone. So and it does have these extra things that you need to put on, so that you can also keep it. You can keep the figure. You can keep it from moving too much. So these are some of the things that we have. So again, we have this for Kamen Rider 1 for the new Cyclone. Now we head over to Kamen Rider 2, or Higo. Good thing here is that it locks. The case itself locks, so that. Alright. Now for Nigo. This was released 2015, actually a little over late 2015. And you can see the box art is different. It's a little bit more refreshed. But the insides doesn't really have much change. But I'll show you one of the other differences between this box and that box, which is the reason why I decided to put them together in one video. So as you open, first thing you'll notice is that this whole product comes together. Yes. So unlike Kamen Rider 1, where it's actually essentially two separate products, this is one product. This is one whole product. So as you can see, you have the bike, which is a different bike as Cyclone 1. It has the figure, two scarves, because one is the one that is the one action scarf, one normal scarf. The hands, the base for the action riding pose, and the special one for here. This is actually, if you buy the SH Figuarts stand, action stand, you can attach this to the bike and you can put it like they're flying or they're jumping. So let's open. Yes, it's a little bit. Actually, you have to be more careful because you don't want this to have the plastic burst and the smaller parts to be released, to like jump out. So first off, let's go with Nigo. Now it's essentially the same figure, but the colors are different. So this is Ichigo with basically the same tracksuit and with silver pipes, which is on two lines, while Nigo is essentially the same figure, but it has a black helmet. The lines on his suit is one big solid line, and the gloves are green, unlike this one, which is a silver. But essentially, they're the same figure. And since they're the same, as you can see, the really great detail on this, right? Now, since they're essentially the same figure, they have the same articulation problems, which is no bicep swivel, no bicep swivel. Everything has to go through the shoulder. So again, it's the same challenges. It's essentially the same figure anyway, but with different paint. So essentially the same challenges. Now the difference here is the bike. And yes, for the bike, it is essentially, now what is different from the bike? It doesn't have the alternate handles anymore because it's already a bit wider than the initial one. Secondly, is that it's a totally different bike. The gimmick for the first bike is in the front, while the gimmick for this bike is in the sides, where it's supposed to have, I don't know, 6 exhausts, and it also has the kickstand for it to pose. And it actually looks like a real bike, just with the engine and all that, and just added the gimmick for the side. So this is also the valuable part of the set because these two bikes, when it's being sold separately, since they already did a re-release of this, it's pretty expensive. And as you can see, the quality is very authentic. It looks like a real bike, just like Kamen Rider Skull's bike. But unlike Kamen Rider Skull's bike, this has a lot more gimmicks that they attach to the motorcycle. So this, if you're going to get this is actually the valuable part of the set, because this figure honestly is already obsolete. Yeah. They released the SS versions of Nigo and Ichigo a few years ago, and a lot of people have bought it. Unfortunately, I haven't. But soon, if I get one at a good price, I might get it and retire these two guys. But then again, these are the original ones. So this is what makes it valuable. Now, one thing that actually makes this even more valuable is that if this small plastic piece, because this will attach to the back. You'll attach this to the bike here, and then if you buy the SH Figuarts action stand, you can stick the peg in it to make it like it's gonna be jumping. So you can put it in better and more dynamic action poses. And there. Now for the figure itself, for the accessories on the figure, well, it doesn't have much. It only has the hands and the two scarves, which the Kamen Rider 1 also has. It doesn't have the action kick. It doesn't have the action stand for the kick, and it doesn't have the sword. As you can see here for Kamen Rider Ichigo, is that it has the sword. Initially, it still has the Kamen Rider still has weapons. For the newer ones, it's more futuristic, more gimmicky. This is very simple. It's just like a sword with an eagle head pommel. So it's very simple. Actually, it's the simplicity that made it really great. You know, as everything we came up with more gimmicks, it became a lot more campy. But then again, it's what people like. Now for the action kickstand. It's basically a special effect. So as let's say we have Ichigo. We put his foot in the effect. We put his foot on the effect, and then we pose it like he's going to kick. So let's say he's going to kick. You're going to do the special kick. So if you have the other action stands and all that, so we have the effect, you put it on his feet. This actually works for both feet anyway, so that low. Yeah, so you can put it there, you can pose him like he is kicking somebody. So let's say he's kicking his own guy, Migo. There you go. So let's say he's kicking him. It's basic, and with Nigo, you can pose him like he's kicking, so it has more power. Now, this is actually also pretty valuable since SH Figuarts has been selling effects like these separately in different prices. Though this is just a small effect, they were now selling it in packages. Like, especially it's very useful for the Dragon Ball line of SH Figuarts. So these are some of the Bike and Rider figures that I have. Actually, if they kept selling this, I would have been buying more of these since you don't have to look for the bike anymore. It's basically one package. But it has actually been pretty hard to find this. I bought this pretty late because most of them don't like the figures, and for me it has been great value for me because I bought this and it's been really great. Value's been really great since you don't have to find the bike and find the rider. You can just open this up and pose it. It's just funny, especially for Kamen Rider 1, is that when I open it, it's special. It's separate, and I actually almost dropped it when I was checking it out, the hands part. So I was pretty surprised. So I guess SH Figuarts or Bandai, when they decided to do the series, is that why not just put them together in one package rather than Kamen Rider 2 that they made the whole set, the whole I guess the plastic is in one mold. They decided, all they did is for Kamen Rider 1 is just okay, get the figure, get the bike, and just put it on a bigger box. But then again, it's still great value. So there. So I guess I just hope that you enjoyed and you got to know more about this figure. It's hard you don't really see this much anymore, but most people don't find the value in it, especially since the figures are using the old style articulation. But for me, well, it's my only Ichigo and Nigo figure that I have. Most of them are under the SHS Figuarts line. I do have the WCF chibi figures, but they're not articulated. So these are my Kamen Rider 1 and 2. So I guess if ever they say, do you have it? Do you have anything from Ichigo and Nigo? Well, I do. And I have their bikes, which is pretty valuable. So again, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. I'll be having one more. I'll be discussing I'll be discussing Garen and the Red Rhombus in my next video. This is different because first off, it's from the Heisei line already. Heisei Phase 1. He is not the main rider. He's a secondary rider for Kamen Rider Blade. And it's already more in the line of Kamen Rider 2. Since it's already in one, everything is incorporated in one plastic. So that's going to be my next video. I hope you can stay tuned for that. And soon, I'll be doing the next video soon. I just brought them together since they're in one package. But it's also a great way to, I guess, have a preview of our next figure. So there, thank you very much. And again, for people enjoying the holidays, have a great day. For everybody else, well, have a great day as well. Thank you very much.